this is part 3 of chapter 5, and chapter 5 was infection control, the principles and practices of it. The next part that we're going to cover is how pathogens enter the body. Pathogens enter the body by a break in the skin, through the mouth, nose, eyes and ears, or unprotected sex. How does your body fight these types of infection? Unbroken skin, bodily secretions, white blood cells. That's why if you have an infection or something, your white blood cells will be higher, and different antitoxins. The definition of immunity is your ability to fight or resist infections. And there's 2 types of immunity, natural immunity and then acquired immunity. So the difference in acquired and natural immunity is natural immunity is immunity that you're born with. It could be something that your mom passed down to you. It's partially inherited and then partly developed through hygienic living. And such factors as frequent exercise and a wholesome diet. Acquired immunity is developed after the body has overcome a disease or through inoculation or taking a vaccine. The disease or inoculation causes the blood cells to produce antibodies, which are proteins that fight disease germs. Acquired immunity may be temporary or it might be permanent. Principles of prevention. Contamination is the presence of potentially infectious materials. Contaminate contaminate is to make impure by contact, and a contaminant is a substance that causes contamination. So if you look around the room, look at all the surfaces and tools, doorknobs and fixtures and so on that constitute routine sources of contamination. Doorknobs are shampoo bowls, shampoo chairs are chairs that we cut hair in, the desk that you sit at. Pretty much anything we touch in here. Decontamination you clean, which means you scrub with a brush, use an ultrasonic unit, and then a solvent or solvent. Disinfection, method 1, cleaning and then disinfecting with an EPA registered disinfectant, and then method 2, cleaning and then sterilizing. Proper decontamination can prevent the spread of disease caused by exposure to potentially infectious materials on an item's surface. It also will protect or prevent exposure to blood, invisible debris, or residue such as dust, hair, and skin. Decontamination is the removal of blood or other potentially infectious materials on an item's surface. The removal of visible debris or residue such as dust, hair, and skin, and there are 2 methods of decontamination. Cleaning is a mechanical process where you scrub, use soap and water or detergent, and remove dirt, debris, and many disease-causing germs. Cleaning also removes invisible debris that interferes with disinfection. Cleaning is what cosmetologists are required to do before disinfection. The methods of cleaning include scrubbing with a brush, using an ultrasonic unit, or using a solvent. For example, to clean metal bits from electric files. Disinfection is the process of disinfecting. It's a chemical process that uses specific products to destroy harmful organisms except bacterial spores on environmental surfaces. Disinfection is a higher level of decontamination than sanitation. Disinfecting is second only to sterilization, but it does not kill bacterial spores. And this is not for use on human skin, hair, or nails. Decontamination method 1 has 2 steps. You clean and then disinfect. So remember, when you clean, you remove all visible dirt and debris from tools, implements, and equipment by washing with liquid soap and water, and by using a clean and disinfected scrub brush to scrub any grooved or hinged portions of the item. A surface is properly cleaned when the number of germs on the surface is greatly reduced. In turn, this reduces the risk of infection. Surface or item must be properly cleaned before it can be properly disinfected. Using a disinfectant without cleaning first is like using mouthwash without brushing your teeth. It just doesn't work properly. Clean surfaces can still harbor small amounts of pathogen, but the presence of fewer pathogens means infections are less likely to be spread. The proper cleaning of the hands requires rubbing the hands together using liquid soap, rainwater, a nail brush, and a clean towel. There are 3 ways to clean your tools or implements: washing with soap and water, and then scrubbing with a clean, properly disinfected nail brush, using an ultrasonic unit, or using a cleaning solvent. Again, to remove metal bits from electric files. The second step of decontamination method 1 is disinfection. Disinfection is a process that eliminates most, but not necessarily all, microorganisms on non-living surfaces. This process is not effective against bacterial spores. In the salon setting, disinfection is extremely effective in controlling microorganisms on surfaces such as shears, nippers, and other multi-use tools and equipment. Any disinfectant used in a salon should carry an EPA registration number. The label should clearly state the specific organisms the solution is effective in killing. Avoid skin contact as well as your client's skin. Don't put your fingers directly into any disinfecting solution. Disinfectants are pesticides and can be harmful if absorbed through the skin. Decontamination method 2. Cleaning, removing any debris or germs with a soap and a brush, and then sterilizing using a high pressure steam autoclave. The steam penetrates the spore coats of spore forming bacteria, or you can use dry heat. It's less effective, it requires more time, and it's not recommended in salons. We don't use an autoclave here. Most people without medical training don't understand how to properly use one. So the next part is choosing a disinfectant, the correct efficacy, which is the effectiveness against bacteria. You have hospital level disinfectants. Hospital level disinfectants are pseudomonacidal, bactericidal, fungicidal, and virucidal. Pseudomonacidal is how you say that. Ideal qualities, you want to make sure that it has bioburden effectiveness. That it has a longer renewal time, it's low cost, non-toxic and non-irritating, it has effectiveness strips, and it's readily available. So proper use, benefits of sterilizing. Sterilizing is the most reliable means of infection control, and it has increased client confidence. Proper use of disinfectants. Using them on pre-cleaned, non-porous surfaces. Dilute according to directions. Pay attention to your contact time per directions and the spray on contact time. A spray cannot be used if immersion is required. Use only as directed, and only an EPA registered disinfectant is allowed in pedi spa. So the types of disinfectants, you have quats, phenolics, accelerated hydrogen peroxide, or bleach. Quaternary ammonium compounds, are also known as quats, are disinfectants that are very effective when used properly in the salon. The most advanced type of these formulas are called multiple quats. They contain sophisticated blends of quats that work together to dramatically increase the effectiveness of these disinfectants. They usually disinfect implements in 10 minutes. They may contain anti-rust ingredients, so leaving the tools in the solution for prolonged periods can cause dulling or damage. They should be removed from the solution after the specified time period, rinsed if required, dried, and stored in a clean covered container. Phenolic disinfectants are powerful tuberculocidal disinfectants. They are a form of formaldehyde with a very high pH and can cause damage to the skin and eyes. They're also harmful to the environment if they're put down the drain, and they have been used reliably over the years to disinfect salon tools. However, they do have drawbacks. Phenol can damage plastic and rubber and can cause certain metals to rust. They should never be used to disinfect pedicure tubs or equipment, and extra care should be taken to avoid skin contact because they are known carcinogens. The next one we have is accelerated hydrogen peroxide. It's based on stabilized hydrogen peroxide. This only needs to be changed every 14 days and is non-toxic to the skin and the environment. And there is an AHP formula that's available for disinfecting pedicure tubs. Bleach, or household bleach, is 5.25% sodium hypochlorite. It's an effective disinfectant and has been used extensively as a disinfectant in the salon. Using too much bleach can damage some metals and plastics, so be sure to read the label for safe usage. And bleach can be corrosive to metals and plastic as well, as it can cause skin irritation and eye damage. So when you mix a bleach solution, you always want to follow the manufacturer's direction. Store this away from heat and light, and it should be mixed every 24 hours, or when the solution's been contaminated. Another disinfectant type is fumigants. You have formalin tablets and glutaraldehyde. It's used to sterilize surgical instruments in hospitals. It's not safe for salon usage. And formalin is formaldehyde. The formalin tablets are used in dry cabinet sanitizers, or were used in dry cabinet sanitizers. This was before EPA registered disinfectants came out on the market, and before it was known that paraformaldehyde slowly releases low concentrations of formaldehyde gas. The release of this gas can cause nose, eye, and lung irritation or an allergic reaction. And then glutaraldehyde is a powerful chemical that's used to sterilize surgical instruments in hospitals. It produces fumes that are irritating to the lungs, eyes, and skin. And again, it's not safe for salon use. So that is part 3 of chapter 5. And we'll pick back up and finish the chapter in the next day or so. Thank you.